What's up, fellow vendors? Extreme Vending here. Today we are going to be assembling a mini claw machine that's been separated. If you order inside the States, you might have noticed that these machines come in 2 packs just because it's more safer for the product to be shipped. I ended up using an 11/16 socket with an extension on my socket wrench, and that's the only tool I needed in order to put this together. Some minis use a socket, some minis just use a simple screwdriver, but my mini is an older model, so it did use a socket. The hardware that came with this was 4 bolts and a spacer nut. That nut may not come with yours just because you may have a different model than mine. Mine did come with it for a spacer for the coin box, and I'll show you in the future. But notice on the base that there are 4 slots for the bolts to go through. That's what you feed the bolt up into to get connected to the top of the mini. You also will notice when you open up the mini base that there's a bill acceptor not hooked up to anything. We'll have to feed that through to the motherboard. Also, there's some LED lighting to decorate the bottom of the mini. This will also be fed through this little slot right there. This is where the wiring's fed to, which will go up to the motherboard. Here's the base and the top half side by side. I have to warn you, the top half is about 45 pounds, so you may want someone helping you lifting this. I did this by myself, but my wife did come up at the last second to help me just to make it a little bit simpler. You'll notice that this right here is the other part of the bill acceptor feeding from the motherboard down. We'll have to actually feed that through that little slot, so it'll be a little bit tricky, and that, like I said, will be the hardest part about assembling this. Once you're ready, make sure you lift with both arms and use your legs at all times. Don't use your back. You might throw your back out. I just want to be cautious and let you know good lifting is necessary so you don't throw out your back. Also, like I said, maybe use some team lift. Once you have it lined up, you'll see that I'll have to feed the bill acceptor power cable into the mini at the base. So I just simply pried this open a little bit and fed the wire through the little slot right there. This was just a little bit tricky, but it wasn't too hard by myself. But I do recommend, like I said, having some simple help. After I had the wire fed through, I tried lining up the top half to the bottom half, and now it was really easy to feed that power cable for the bill acceptor down through to give it some more feed so I can hook it up later when I'm done assembling the top with the bottom. You can see I gave myself plenty of slack to hook this up later in the video. But right now we're going to focus on screwing down this top half with the bottom base. This is so simple. You literally just have to hand tighten this to get started before you use the socket wrench. I just took the 4 bolts and one by one slid them in and screwed them down with my hand. Now this 4th one, I ended up using that spacer nut that came with it. This is actually underneath the coin box. If you don't have a coin box model, then you probably don't have to worry about the spacer at all. But since I do, I need to put a spacer in this bolt so that it does not make it difficult to pull in and out the coin box and misalign. And I'll show you a very quick clip of that. Here I didn't put the bolt spacer in, and you can see that that bolt sticks up into the coin box. So when you're putting in the coin box, it just makes it really hard to close and tighten and lock. And there's also a really bad gap in that coin box right there. Like I said, this is for the coin box version. You may not have to worry about that in other versions. Now that I have the 4 bolts hand tightened in, I just assemble the rest of the wiring. It's very simple. Just plug in the bill acceptor into that wire you fed earlier. And then now you have the LED lighting that glows in the base, and all you have to do is just feed that up into the motherboard top. And once you have it fed through, you can easily just access it from the back door. Real quick, guys, before we conclude this video, I want to invite you to the Discord. If you haven't already done so, make sure you join that. You can find the link in the description down below. I highly recommend joining that because we actually have a large community of vendors that will help each other out with something like this, simple videos and tutorials, and just a really great place to learn how to place your own claw machines or any type of vending. Anyways, we're nearly done, guys. It was pretty simple, wasn't it? All we have to do now is plug in this LED lighting into this power strip found in the back of the motherboard and lock up. And don't forget to finish tightening the bolts, whether it was the 11/16 socket or just a hand screwdriver. Make sure you tighten up all 4 just to be safe, and don't forget about that part because I nearly did in the video, and that's why this is at the end. Anyways, I hope this helped you out if you ordered a mini and it wasn't placed together, or eased your mind if you were going to order some of these minis in the States so you didn't have to worry about it too much. And enjoy the rest of your day. Happy holidays, and see you next time. Bye-bye. Peace out. Yo.